Top 10 Best Halloween Horror Movies. Number 10. Room 333. Hospitals are places where people's suffering makes for terrifying paranormal events. In this film, a group of friends decides to spend Halloween in the old and abandoned Santa Mira Hospital with no idea of what is lurking behind those walls. The place was abandoned after a massive fire. It was not long before they realized they were trapped in the mentally ill ward of the building on the 3rd floor. Jesse, a member of the group, has visions in which he found out that one of the patients murdered a girl and caused the fire. If it's your idea to watch this movie at midnight with only popcorn, we must warn you that you better lock all the doors and windows of your house, because this movie is frankly terrifying and the fear will haunt you all night. Number 9. House of a Thousand Corpses. Jerry Goldsmith, Bill Hudley, Mary Knowles, and Denise Willis are a group of college students who travel looking for paranormal stories, hoping to write a book. On their travels, locals tell them the story of Dr. Satan, a sinister doctor who ended up hanged in a tree. The place of his death caught their attention, and they began a quest to find it. On the way, they pick up a young man named Baby, who tells them he lives close to the location they are looking for. Soon after, their tire goes flat, and they end up in Baby's family home, the Firefly. This family was not normal at all. They were sadistic murderers and cannibals who kidnapped, killed, and tortured several people cruelly. It's gory indeed. Everyone that lived in that house turned out to be assistants of Dr. Satan, who is still alive. Are you really ready to see it? Number 8. The Houses of October Built. This is about people who make documentaries featuring haunted homes a few days before Halloween. They wonder if they can find the infamous Blue Skeleton, a group of killers who have been murdering people in several secret locations just to get notoriety. All of a sudden, they realize things start to get weird. They start to get followed and they end up finding Blue Skeleton. And guess what? They end up being this group's victims. Number 7. Trick or Treat. Trick or treat is what children usually ask on Halloween. This film is about how the people of a small town in Ohio get tormented every year during that night. There are many terrifying events that transpire in the movie. A group of teenagers arrives at a place where 8 young children drowned many years before, and to their disgrace, those children come back to life to kill them. While this was happening, the school principal, helped by his son, murders an overweight kid. At the same time, a girl dressed as Little Red Riding Hood turns into a wolf. And a woman who agreed she would remove all of her Halloween decorations is found dismembered, and her own body is turned into her home's decoration. All of these terrible facts are connected to Sam, a small demon who confronts an old man who, surprisingly, turned out to be the driver of the bus where the drowned children traveled. This is a very scary film. Number 6. Tales of Halloween. If you live in a small city, this story will make your blood freeze. During Halloween, demonic, macabre, and paranormal events take over a small town with people who are all just trying to survive. These scary events are varied and terrifying. A man invokes a demon. Another discovers that his wife is a bloodthirsty witch who eats children. A couple of thieves kidnap a child, and when they realize it is deformed, a pumpkin devours people in the city. Just like these, there are many more terrifying stories going on in this hour and 32-minute long soap opera. Number 5. Satan's Little Helper. This is one of the strangest Halloween movies since it starts off sweet and entertaining. It slowly goes on to become one of the most shocking horror movies you've ever seen. Douglas, a little child, chooses to dress up as a character in his favorite video game, The Devil's Assistant. He crosses paths with a mysterious man who wears the mask of the devil he wants to be an assistant to. He is actually a dangerous psychopath who starts off being mischievous and committing small crimes, but ends up eliminating all the police in the city. As the plot progresses, the murders become more terrible. This movie is macabre and strange. Number 4. All Hallows Eve. This gruesome story begins when, at the end of Halloween, Sarah notices that her children were given a VHS tape by someone. When they decide to watch the video, they find 3 gory events. In the first story, a woman is kidnapped at a bus stop and then is chained to a table along with 2 other women. Several demons enter, kill 2 of them, and rape the 3rd, to be followed by a C-section to extract a horrendous creature from her womb. In the second story, a woman who had recently moved to the countryside is harassed and abducted by aliens. And last, in the 3rd story, a sinister-looking clown called Art dismembers an employee of a gas station, and a girl that is tied up has her limbs cut off by him. Sarah, who is watching the movie, then unplugs it and proceeds to look for her children. She realizes they are nowhere to be found. Number 3. 31. Clowns have always been terrifying to some people. While they are usually characters who attend children's parties, they are often portrayed as evil beings, which is the case with this movie. A day before Halloween, Charlie, Venus, Panda, Levon, and Roscoe, who work at a circus, are kidnapped and taken to a terrifying secret place. In this place, they find old people dressed in rags that tell them they will participate in the game of 31, which will last 12 hours. It will be extremely difficult because they will be attacked by a gang of murderous clowns, who will chase them even out of the horrifying place. In the end, only one of them will survive. Those clowns are real-life demons. Number 2. VHS. A very strange gang of thieves who, that in addition to stealing, love filming their crimes, receive a mission from an anonymous character. In exchange for a large sum of money, they will need to break into a house and steal a videotape. Upon entering, they find a chilling image. A man lies dead, surrounded by TVs. Since there's no one else to be found, they begin to wander around the house and find several videotapes, so they decide to take all of them so they won't fail in their mission. One of them stays in and begins to watch the tapes. They all have terrifying content, each one telling a different story, until he vanishes, just like the corpse of the man who turned out to be a zombie. Number 1. Halloween. And in post number 1, it could only be the most terrifying movie of all, which starts off showing a gruesome murder. On Halloween night back in 1975, an innocent 6-year-old boy called Michael Myers, who was wearing a clown mask, murdered his own sister. Years later, there is a massive escaping of patients from a hospital, a fact that surprises Sam Loomis, Michael Myers' doctor, who starts tracking him down in the peaceful town of Haddonfield. Can you guess on what day? Obviously Halloween. He and the village sheriff find out that Myers has taken refuge in his old house, where they find a murdered dog. However, the killer is one step ahead of them and kills several villagers, including those who stayed in that night. You never know when a murderer may break into your own home. A fun fact that circulates on the web is that, according to the movie's director John Carpenter, the inspiration for the film came from a real-life serial killer who broke into his victims' homes while they slept and hoped that they will wake up so he can kill them with a wrench. That's how he got his sinister inspiration. If this story gave you goosebumps, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications so you won't miss a single video. Until next time.